to my channel. My name is Abimbola if you're new here. I recently just joined the YouTube space and it's a place where I want to promote awareness and share topics that I'm passionate about. And today I want to be talking about period hygiene tips I wish I knew sooner, or period hygiene tips I'll give to someone who just started their period. So without any further saying, let's get right into the video. Now, a little disclaimer, I am not a medical professional in any way. So I'm not a licensed doctor or practitioner. These are just some tips and advices I've learned through experience as a woman or as a female and from making my own research. So yeah, let's get right into it now, shall we? Now, prior to becoming aware of like the whole period thing and like cycles and everything, I used to take periods so lightly that, oh, this is something that is just coming once in a month, deal with it, do whatever you want to do with it and all that. But it was just recently I really sat down and came to the realization that this thing is not so shallow as I think it is, because you're telling me that as a human being you are bleeding for 3 to 7 or 4 to 7 days. Some people even bleed more than that and you don't die. Hey, no, like you don't die as per bleeding when someone gets injured or in an accident and you don't die. Like really, the way God designed our body as female is really, really great. God is amazing. So yeah, you just have to keep that in the back of your mind, that it's something that you're not meant to take lightly. Like you have to be very intentional with it and how you treat yourself during that period. And this brings me to my first tip, which is to be aware of the changes happening in your body. Now, prior to getting your period, you're living life normal. You don't have to worry about buying pads or buying sanitary products or checking if you're staying and all that. But once it comes, oh gosh, it's a long ride. Trust me, it's a long ride. Like there'll be many experiences I'll be joined together. So you have to be aware that your body is no longer the same. That you're going to have a whole range of changes along the years till you hit menopause. So really sit down and use Google is free, guys. Like really sit down to understand the different changes that will be happening in your body in terms of your hormones, in terms of your many things really. But you have to really sit down and study yourself to know the changes that are happening. And also in terms of the cycles, there are 4 cycles, and I don't want to go too deep in that, but yeah, you have to just be aware of it, that okay, so this is something that's happening to me now. How can I cope with it? How can I survive with it? Yeah, I'm going to use the word survive because it's a madhouse out there. And this brings me to my second tip, which is to know your menstrual hygiene products. You need to know what works best for you and apply wisdom. Really, you need to really know what works best for you. Personally, I use pads, but other people use a whole range of menstrual products. There are tampons, there are period cups. Wait, sorry, is it period or menstrual cups? I think menstrual cups, but yeah, I think that's all I know. But you need to know what works best for you and apply wisdom using them. Really sit down and read about the different products and their purposes, like how they can serve you to make you feel comfortable during your cycle. Even as a person, like if you're someone who bleeds heavily, there are different like grades of pads. There are the light pads, there are the pads for heavy flow. Just really sit down and know that okay, this is what my body is doing. What product can I get to match the request it's making? So that's just my second tip. You really need to be aware of your sanitary product. The third thing I would say is that you need to be more intentional with your hygiene during this period. Now, if your hygiene game normally is 10 over 10 or 100 over 100, when you're on your period, you're gonna make that 100 times 10. Literally, you're gonna raise the 10 up, raise the bar and the standards high. Why? Because when you're on your period, you're more susceptible to things you might not usually be susceptible, because your body is expelling waste. So you might sweat more, you might develop more body odors, you might be prone to like more infections and be more sensitive. So you have to be really conscious of your hygiene game. Then you need to shower more frequently. You cannot say you're on your period and you're showering only once a day. You have to be showering like 2-3 times every day, really. And yeah, you just have to really up your game. If you're going out, make sure you pack all your necessary period hygiene things. You pack extra pads, extra underwear, sanitizer, baby wipes, tissues, everything that you know that will be helpful for you when you're not at home, in places that you might not be as comfortable in. You really need to be intentional. You can also pack perfume. You know, like I said, you might be more susceptible to sweating and developing body odors, so you have to be serious with that. My fourth tip is hydration. Hydrate. Oh my gosh, you guys, this is really important. People really don't see period as waste, but it's actually a waste product. In the same way you sweat, like you're expelling sweat during your period, you're expelling the waste product too. So you need to take fluids to replace that waste product. Just like when you sweat, you are more prone to be dehydrated. I think when you're a period, you might actually be dehydrated, I don't know, but like drink more water, please. It helps to really flush out the waste and everything out. You need to drink more water. You can't just rely on like soft drinks or beverages, you know, or maybe like coffee. No, you need to drink more water along with your tea to really help, and to help you like feel cooler and fresher down there. So this is just my fourth tip. My fifth tip is to be aware of your personal period symptoms. Now, period symptoms might change as you grow older and mature, but really just be aware of the ones you usually experience, so that in cases of extremities or in cases where you develop rare symptoms, you can seek medical advice. You can go through Google to check. Like, once again guys, Google is very free. If you're having some irregularities or some symptoms that you are not so knowledgeable about, you can always check in online. And if it's something that you're suspecting, please see a professional. Visit a doctor who can diagnose you for whatever thing is happening. Early diagnosis is always best. So if you're suspecting some things in your body that you're not usually used to, please see a medical professional. Or if you're having some extremities that are really affecting you seriously, please see a medical professional. That's just my fifth tip. My sixth tip is to be mindful of things you eat. Now, I know that sometimes periods can come with cravings, but you might want to like lean in towards eating more iron rich foods, because your body is expelling waste, it's blood. You know, you want to eat foods that build your blood up. So you want to eat more fruits, more vegetables, more fiber rich foods. Like, don't just rely on junk food throughout. I know the cravings might get to you. Yeah, I know, I've been there. In fact, what am I even saying? I'm still there. But you know, just eat more healthy. Reduce your intake of sugar or sugary drinks, because that can also increase the cramps. So you have to be very mindful of what you eat. I don't want to say what's coming to my mind. I'm not gonna say it because I am not a victim of peer pressure. And finally, please, whatever menstrual product you're using, do not wear it for too long. Please learn to change it frequently. If you're using pads, for instance, you can't wear one pad for the whole day. Please, it's really dangerous. It can develop infections. You don't need to see that your product is fully soaked or fully like filled up for you to change it. Like, don't leave it in for too long, because don't forget, once again, your body, it's helping you hold the waste, and when you leave that waste product there, it can turn to an infection. The bacteria can grow and multiply. So please change your sanitary products more frequently. For pads, for instance, I think you can change 3 to 4 times a day, depending on how heavy you flow. Like I said, you don't have to wait for it to be full. Like, for instance, if you bleed lightly, you will not say that, oh, I'm gonna leave my pad on from morning to evening when I get back. No, you can do like 2 or 3 times a day for that instance. And for the heavy bleeders, you obviously change more as it keeps getting soaked. So that's just my final tip. And yeah, that brings us to the end of this video. If you really enjoyed this video, please give me a big thumbs up. And if you have other tips you'd like to share, please drop it in the comment section. I might make a part 2 of this, I really don't know. Thank you so much for your support to my previous videos. I really appreciate. And yeah, see you next time. Bye.